guys, today we're going to play some exotic guitar solos. Now I've got 3 licks I want to share with you, and these are going to be awesome to play. But before we do that, I'm actually going to share the concept, this real simple and easy concept to playing exotic guitar solos. You know, getting that neoclassical vibe to your solos. In fact, once you learn this little trick, you'll probably be like, I don't need to watch the rest of the video. I've got it. I can just apply this everywhere. But I do hope you hang around for the entire video. By the way, the cool thing about this lesson, you really don't have to know any deep music theory to play these exotic lead patterns. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn theory. We will talk more about that in our guitar chat at the end after the lesson, so hang around for that. Real quick, my Patreon supporters, you guys have a cool backing track to play these licks along with, and of course you have the tabs to these licks that we're about to get into. The concept is simple, guys. So you've got your lead pattern, right? You're playing a guitar solo. You kind of know which notes to hit, whatever key you're in. You're kind of comfortable with what notes you normally play within certain keys, right? Now, real quick, I want to say if you're a beginner lead guitar player, some of this may not make sense. I would want you to go watch my lead guitar playing for beginners, metal lead for beginners. I'll put it up there. Go watch that video, then come back and watch this one. You're used to playing these certain notes within a certain key, and if you're practicing leads a lot, well, you probably practice the same patterns, you know, quite often, like most of us do, right? So what I want you to do is just throw in a note that you normally wouldn't play. It might sound a little out of key, a little like it doesn't fit, but the more you play around with these notes that quote unquote don't fit, and of course there's a term for each of these when you tie it into music theory, which we're not really going to get into that though, guys. Again, this is not something to where you've got to overcomplicate it and like, well, what is this called? What is that called? I want you to think more about how does this sound? That's what's important, okay? So let me just play something real quick, like just a series of notes. Okay, that little note right there that I hit right there. So the 16th fret, and I'm playing a lick here that could probably fit into several keys here, but especially the key of E minor. And I'm playing the normal notes, right? When I say normal notes, I'm just trying to keep this in layman's terms, but all of those notes, well, they seemingly fit within that key. It's something that just sounds like it all fits together, okay? What we did here is we just stepped outside of that box and we just hit a note that we normally may not play. So that 16th fret right there, and we're about to get into actual licks that I want you to learn here, but that 16th fret, well, I normally wouldn't go there. I normally would go up to the 15th, so it'd be like this. Okay, that sounds nice, that fits, right? It's the note within that key, but instead of doing this, we do this. And again, that's what gives it that wicked little vibe there. Now we played some other notes up here. Okay, now right here, I'm on the 16th fret on the G string. I could go to the 14th. And then also to the 12th. But what if we sneak another little note in between one of those, right? That's all we're doing, guys. We're just throwing in another note. I call them off notes. That's my non-theory term for this. They're notes that I normally wouldn't play within that key that don't really fit within that key, whether it be a major or a minor, just keeping things simple. But I'm throwing something in between there, and that's what I want you to experiment with. All right, so you've got the concept down. Let's go into some cool licks where you can apply this concept. Okay, real simple here, just 3 notes at a time. We play 3 notes, we repeat those 3 notes a few times, I think 4 times to be exact, and then we play another series of 3 notes 4 times, okay? So 3 and 4, I'm kind of already confused. I think you got the picture, but again, what are we doing here? Well, we are playing a note, we're throwing in a note that doesn't seemingly fit. And that's all these exotic solos and even exotic riffs. That's really all they are. So normally, and let me just call out the frets that we're playing here. Again, if you're a Patreon supporter, you have the tabs and the backing track to play along with. But we are on the G string. Everything's on the G string for this particular exercise. We're starting out on 17, 16, and 14, okay? And we're just speed picking. Now, normally from there, you might do something like this. And that's 16, 14, and 12, okay? But instead of 12, well, there's another note between 12 and 14 there. That's called 13. Hey, cool number. So let's play that instead, okay? That's really it. So again, 17, 16, 14, followed by 16, 14, 13. Pretty cool. Now, take that concept and apply it somewhere else, anywhere else on the fretboard, right? You get into some really cool black metal style rhythms with that. A little tap dancing on the fretboard there, kind of that Eddie Van Halen-ish style, which, hey, is really cool. I love Eddie Van Halen, always have. But what we're doing here, again, we're just really applying that play that other note in between somewhere concept. And this time we're actually playing two notes that are sort of in between that whole thing. So we are on the E string, 12th fret, and all this stuff can be played within the key of E minor, by the way. I'm trying to simplify this for you guys, but of course you can apply it to any key anywhere on the fretboard, and I encourage you to do that, right? I want you to expand on this. Don't just learn what I'm showing you. Sure, get it down, but quickly start to expand and just create your own leads and your own solos and just try different things. That's really what this lesson is all about. Hey, try some notes that don't seemingly fit. See what you can come up with. It's probably going to sound kind of exotic. All right, so here's what we're doing. Real simple. 3-note pattern again. All right, kind of crazy how simple this is. So 12, we're finger tapping, right? 12, 10, and 7. That's it. In this sequence of notes, naturally, we would also probably go to the 5th fret or maybe even the 8th fret. Well, let's play these real quick. So all those notes fit kind of nicely together. Well, what did we do? Well, we kind of just moved everything around a little bit and played some notes that, again, don't seemingly fit. So what I did in this case is I kept the finger tapping on the 12th fret there, and this kind of makes things a little bit easier. And I just moved the configuration of my fretting fingers here, which I've got those on frets 10 and 7. I just moved them up 1/2 step. So we went from 10 and 7 to 9 and 6. And you just, play the one little tapping lick there a few times, then go to the next one. I think I'm doing this 4 times each. Doesn't really matter how many times you do it. Play that however many times you want. And again, experiment with some of those notes in between the notes that you would normally play. A simple little sweep picking pattern. Now for this pattern, and this is a sweep pattern you've probably heard a gazillion times and then some, but it's the simple little like 3-note pattern here. So we're on the last 3 strings. We are on 12, 13, and 12. This little thing right here. And then we'll hammer down on the 15th fret. Then we'll hammer down on the 15th fret, and then we'll add that little tapping piece. I believe that's on the 20th fret there. The normal, I call them normal notes, right? Remember, because the other notes, I call them off notes. So the normal notes that would be in that configuration of notes, the normal ones you would play would be these notes here. 19, and 17, okay, and that goes with 15 and 12. That's what you would normally play in a normal scenario. You're just kind of playing the notes that are in that key. Now, what we did, we just applied our throw in that note in between concept there and just came up with some exotic or just a little bit more exotic sounding patterns here. Okay, gives it a little exotic twist there. And then we did the same thing. We just repeated that again. And then instead of going to either 17 or 15, well, we went to 16 there. So we got this sound. That sounds pretty cool. So again, just another way you can apply this cool concept to sweep picking. Of course, we went over tapping. We did some alternate picking, some fast speed picking there. What I want you to do before we get to our guitar chat, I just want you to play around with different patterns, different licks that you're creating yourself. I encourage you to do that, okay? And just throw in some different notes here and there. If you're usually playing these two notes, well, try the note in between, see what that sounds like. All right, guys, it is time for our little guitar chat here. I always enjoy this time with you. Real quick, though, do check the links in the description of this video. I've got my free practice guide, Metal Riffs and Licks. If you don't have that, definitely download a copy of that. That's something free that I give to all my YouTube subscribers. If you already have that, but you're not in one of my online guitar courses, hey, check those out as well. I've got some cool metal guitar courses for you. All of that good stuff's in the description of this video. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of this video that you didn't need to know music theory to play these quote-unquote exotic lead patterns, these exotic licks here. And I want to just point this out. I'm not discouraging you from learning music theory if that's the path that you want to take. Guys, I'm never going to be the one that says you have to do it this way, it's the only way, or you have to do it that way, or you should not do this and don't do that and blah, blah, blah. I always encourage you guys to be your own musician, be your own individual guitarist, okay? You have this beautiful ability within you to create something that only you can create. No one can replicate you, all right? So whether you choose to go the theory route, and I believe over the years I've been playing guitar, I've never dove deep into music theory. Most of you guys know that, but I'll be the last person to discourage you from learning it, okay? That's just not my strong point. It's not really something, to be honest with you guys, I'm not really super interested in it. Now, what I've learned, though, is over the years, I've been playing guitar since 1989, that I've inadvertently learned quite a bit of it. I was actually helping my good friend, one of my close friends and business partner. We co-own the platform Metal Mastermind. Most of you know that. All my guitar courses are hosted on that site. Plus, we've got other courses from other musicians on there as well. Do check that out. But Ken Candelas, he created a course because he's a theory buff. He created a course called Metal Music Theory. Well, we wanted to put some guitar parts in there. And of course, me not knowing theory, well, I had to kind of learn a little bit to create those parts in his course because, you know, music theory is not guitar theory. It's music theory, right? So he teaches it from the keyboard, but you're still learning. So I thought it'd be a good idea if we just go in there and put some relevant guitar parts in certain parts of the course, and that's what we did. So I'll have a link to Metal Music Theory, guys. If you want to dive deeper into theory, I'll put a link to Ken's course in the description of this video as well. But again, guys, whether you decide to go that route or you don't go that route, there's really no right or wrong way. There's only the best way for you. I truly want you guys to be your own individual self when it comes to music and really when it comes to life. There's so many people out there on YouTube, like this bald dude you're looking at now, that will tell you, and I'm not one of these, but they'll tell you how you should do things, or you better do it this way, or this is the only way, and hey, it's scientifically proven. How many times have you guys heard that? It's like the first one that says the word science in their sentence wins the argument just because they use science, right? And guys, I'm not going down any goofy paths here, but you understand what I mean. I'm never going to be the one to tell you that you must do it this way, or you must learn this, or you better not do that. I want you to be your own individual guitarist. And guys, follow your intuition. I believe if you have pure intentions, then your intuition within you is going to usually guide you in the right direction. So again, if you want to dive into theory or anything, hey, take that leap, get into it. You might decide you love it, or you might decide, well, this is not for me. Sometimes you got to try things to, no, it's not for you. I tried eating a lot of broccoli one time, and I just don't like broccoli. Guys, drop me any questions you have in the comments and let me know if this video helped you. I really hope that it did. Until next time, as always, keep it metal.